Come on. Piece of cake. Yeah. Oh, so you done lost your motherfucking mind.
Dog pound motherfucking gang.
Come on, bitch, get up.
Everybody throw your guns in the air, and with the motherfuckers like you just don't care.
Yeah, them gangsters came through, ran through all day, just banging on these niggas, staying true all day. You know why?
Cause I'm the one that you can't fuck with. I'm the one that you can't get with. It's the most untouchable. You try to cross us, you know we gon' tread.
Kicking on my blast, look at what we have. Too many busters, not enough ass. A sipping in a blast. Off, sweep them all, call my dogs in, cause fall. Too much gunpowder to see the wall. Hard to resist, the gauge rage you come. Loose, Grey Goose, Tennessee Patron. I'm a cock and rocket blast. We gon' beat your ass, we gon' dump and ride past.
Yo.
Blast off, bitch nigga.
What's up, everybody?
Passed off, sawed off, shot.
Welcome to another episode of the Mack Lessons Radio Show. Glad to have everybody tuning back in. Broadcasting live from Los Angeles. Ready to chop up some good game today. Today's show is brought to you by MackLessons.com. That's where you can get the Mack Lessons DVD. And it's brought to you by UnitedPlayersOfAmerica.com. That's where you can chop up game with other players such as yourself. And as usual, I am flowing straight from the survival scrolls. On today's show, I'm going to read some listeners' emails. And we're going to jump right into it. I got an email from a young lady. Her email reads, "Hello, Tariq. I'm relatively new to your radio show, but I'm definitely an admirer of your straight-to-the-point, don't give a damn about offending attitude. I agree with the majority of what you say, but I disagree sometimes, only as a matter of opinion. My reason for this email is to ask your opinion for someone in my situation." Her email goes on to say that I'm in the process of divorcing my husband of 13 years, and I'm about to re-enter the dating scene. I'm 30 years old and I have 3 kids from this marriage. In your own words, strike one. And just keeping it real, I know it is strike one. Men these days have other options other than a woman with 3 kids. I'm out here trying to upgrade myself, though, through education, making my own money, fine-tuning my body, blah, blah, blah. And she admits, yes, I did get fat. That's 2 strikes, right? But to get back on point, I want to know what kind of options, if any, do I have in the dating arena? Is there any hope for me to find a man who is anything other than a broke-ass bottom feeder? Can you help me? Now, she asked a very good question. And what's good about this, she has acknowledged her strikes. And I'm glad she brought that up because that's very important. A lot of times when people have strikes, they don't have anything to compensate for the strikes. That's why you have to be self-aware. You have to know your strengths and you have to know your deficiencies, and you have to overcompensate for your deficiencies. A lot of women out here have a gang of strikes, but nothing to compensate for. They have a bunch of kids, they're fat than a motherfucker, they're over the hill, and on top of that, they have a fucked up attitude. There's no redeeming value for them. There's absolutely no incentive for any man in his right mind to date a female like that. And I won't just beat up on the women. A lot of dudes, too. There's a lot of dudes who ain't got no money, ain't got no look, ain't got no car, ain't really got no conversation, and they're mad that they can't get a dime. You dig? You have to compensate for shit that you lack and try to get rid of as many strikes as possible. Now, some cases we can't help but to get strikes. Like in this young lady's case, she has kids. That's not a strike. I don't look at having children as a strike. per se. I won't say that. I won't look at it as a negative thing. There's nothing negative about having kids. Now, if you have a bunch of kids by a whole bunch of different niggas, that's a strike. But at least this woman had children in the confines of the marriage, so she was somewhat responsible with it. But in the dating arena, a lot of men might look at that as baggage. So you have to overcompensate for that. You have to have a hellified winning attitude. You have to have the kind of disposition that, you know, people really want to get with you. People really want to be around you. You got to be extra nice. You got to be extra friendly. That's why I always compare like black women and white women. Like a fat white woman has a very good attitude. She knows she has to compensate for being fat. A fat black female is like sassy. Not all of them, but a lot. A lot of black fat females are sassy, funky attitudes, stank-ass attitudes. And then they complain that they can't get a goddamn man. So my answer to you is to get your mind right, get your attitude right, and come with guys, quality men with 110% cooperation. Also, work on yourself. A lot of the things that you're complaining about, you can pretty much control. You can control your weight, people. That's something that you have 100% control over. Weight is a question of mathematics. If you consume X amount of calories, you will carry on X amount of weight. It's very mathematic. If you subtract a certain amount of calories, you will subtract a certain amount of weight. It's math-fucking-matics, all right? So that's my answer to you. So let me read some other listeners' emails. Got an email from this one guy. The email goes on to say, this is a MySpace email. He says, me and this girl that I met, we've been talking on the phone for about a month. But I am very nervous when it comes time to set up a hookup date for this woman. What's the best way for me to approach her about hooking up? Signed, Confused. Some of you guys, y'all just gotta act like you're scared of pussy. Some of y'all dudes are just scared of the goddamn pussy. Don't sit on the phone chit-chatting with these women for months at a time. You're gonna become a goddamn cuddle buddy. Fellas, you gotta stop doing that old hoochie-ass nigga shit. Chatting on the phone with women all the time. I've told you a million times, you make your telephone contacts very brief. You're not her girlfriend. You're not her cuddle buddy. You're not her gay friend. Don't sit on the phone yip-yapping with these women all day and night. Y'all sitting on the phone until sunlight like a bunch of goddamn teeny bop schoolgirls. You talk to her for 5 minutes, arrange the next time you guys are going to hook up, and you're going about your business. You have to be the kind of cat that appears to be very busy. You have to come across as the kind of cat who appears like he doesn't have the kind of time to be sitting on the phone yip-yapping with a woman. And guys, this is another thing. The longer you wait to close the deal, meaning hit that ass, the harder it's going to get. The best time, and I've said this in my book, The Art of Mackin', which was written 7 years ago, the best time to get the ass is within the first 72 hours. Because a lot of women project their desires and their fantasies onto you within the first 72 hours. And you can take advantage of that. The longer you wait, the realer you become to her. The fantasy starts to fade. And the reality sinks in. So you want to catch a woman when she's in that fantasy euphoric stage, which is like the first week or so. But definitely the first 72 hours, you got to get your foot in the door. Chatting on the phone for a month and not closing the deal, the longer you wait, the harder it's going to get to hit that because you're slipping into that friend zone. God damn it, stop being scared, fellas. I can lead a horse to water, but I can't make you drink. I get a lot of guys saying that they use my techniques. They got females to call them, and they know how to go on dates, but they don't know how to close the deal. I can't come out there to your city and bend the female over for you. God damn. And I'm going to get on this brother with his MySpace page, the guy who sent me this email. He's from the East Coast, and I was checking out his pictures on MySpace. And what's with you cats? A lot of you cats on the East Coast are wearing these goddamn capri pants. This brother had on a wife beater, some capri pants, and some Air Force Ones. The fuck is up with them damn capri pants? And the brother Air Force Ones looked like they had heels on them. What's with all? We got a hoochie nigga epidemic now. What the hell is going on, man? Air Force One got heels on them. Look like hospital shoes. How you gonna get on the bitch? You walk around looking like a damn nurse. Oh, I got a song for you cats. Hold on. For some of y'all cats out there, you hoochie niggas. Shit, here's a song for y'all right here. You're a fag. You're scared to spit some game up at a bitch. You're a fag. And every time you walk, I see you switch. You're a fag. And everybody knows that you a gay. You're a fag. Put on some Daisy Dukes and rollerblades. You're a fag. And don't bring your ass around me. You're a fag. And don't be looking at my butt cheeks. You're a fag. You're a queen and you like to go and tweeze your eyebrows. So don't come around me cause you're a fag. That's for you cats out there. That's for all you cats out there wearing capri pants and all that hoochie nigga shit. Cut that shit out. But anyway, I digress. Alright, let me read some other emails that I got. Got another email from a gentleman that says, "Good morning, Tariq. I have a question for you. How important is it for men to get their physical shit in order? A lot of men want women to be in shape, but shouldn't men be in shape as well?" My sister says that there are a lot of fat niggas out here that needs to get their body in order. I asked some females at my job and they say they don't like big niggas, so should all niggas try to look all steroid up like 50 Cent or dry it up like that nigga Lloyd? Or can big niggas like Gerald Levert, R.I.P., get bitches and not fat bitches either? Speak on this, Flex. Let me know what's up. And that's a very good question. A lot of times when men talk about weight issues with women, because a lot of women, especially black women, have a problem with weight. The majority of black women are overweight. And a lot of sisters will deflect and say, well, there's a lot of overweight black men too. Generally, it's so disproportionate. More black men are athletic. You see brothers athletic all the time. You look at television, you see a bunch of athletic brothers. You look at the NBA, look at the NFL, you see athletic brothers on TV all the time. You go to the gym, you see brothers at the gym all the time. So the numbers are so disproportionate. But there are some thick brothers out there, but it's a different dynamic between men and women. A thick brother and a thick woman, two different dynamics. Women are judged primarily on their looks. Men are judged by their game and their social status. So if a thick brother has his money right, his conversation right, he can still get females without a problem. And I mean dimes. And I know some of the biggest Macks that I know are big old brawl, burly niggas. Hell, I've seen Ruben Studdard get a gang of bitches. Like Gerald Levert. Rest his soul, he was a player. Gerald Levert was a big sex symbol. Women loved him. Now, I see that producer Jazzy Faye. I always see him with a fly female. Females around him. It's a different dynamic for men and women. Women are judged by their looks. Men are judged by their game. So fellas, don't trip on that. If you want to get in shape because you feel more confident about yourself, that's cool. But it's not as important. You feel me? It's a different dynamic between men and women. And again, you can wear your weight well. There's some fat brothers out there that's players. Real smooth, real Mackish about their shit. As long as you're confident, man. If you're confident, you can do your thing. Speaking of fat dudes, one of my favorite videos now, this video from YouTube, it's a fat dude, old fat guy rapping. He's like, he owns a furniture store down in Montgomery, Alabama. And you guys got to see this. You guys, this is one of my favorite videos. I've been bumping this all week. Go to YouTube and type in worst commercial ever. It's a television commercial from Montgomery, Alabama. And this dude is rapping. It's so whack. Hold on. This is the audio of it.
Living rooms, bedrooms, dinettes. Oh yeah, you can find them at the market. We talking about flea market. Montgomery, it's just like a mini mall. Oh yeah, come shop with us. I said flea market, Montgomery. It's just like a mini mall. Hey, you heard me.
And you got to see the video. You got to see the visuals for this shit. They say that this is like the worst TV commercial ever. It's fucking hilarious. You got to see this. So go to YouTube, type in worst commercial ever.
Come shop. I said flea market, Montgomery.
Shut your goddamn ass up.
That's enough of that. Anyway, let me read another listener's email while I flow straight from the Survival Scrolls. Got an email from another brother on MySpace. It says, "What's up, Tariq? I own all your books. I have your DVD. I love listening to the show. But I'm trying to get my swagger back with the females because I'm feeling lost by going to the bars and clubs that I frequent. I have 2 questions. How do I approach a girl on the dance floor at the club? And what type of clubs should I go to meet black girls that are down with good game from educated brothers and not the thugs? Should I go to upscale clubs, lounges, or hip-hop clubs to meet them?" Well, as far as going to clubs, it depends on what city you're in. Now, to answer his first question, he wanted to know how to spit to girls on the dance floor. You really don't. If a girl is on the dance floor, she's already occupied. If you're at a club, you want to get a female who's like chilling in the cut or chilling by the bar and then get her out on the dance floor. But you don't want to spit game at a girl on the dance floor. She's already busy. She's dancing. And a lot of times, if a woman is dancing by herself, she's on some attention whore shit anyway. She just wants people to look at her. So that's not a good idea to spit game at her. If you're at the club, you wait till she gets by the bar. You wait till she sits down. And then that's when you put your bid in. That's when you put your conversation down on her. And his brother wanted to know where to go meet black girls that are down to earth and they have good game and they want to hear good game from an educated brother. That's a very good question. What you don't want to do is go to clubs in the hood. You don't want to go to hip-hop clubs. You do not want to go to 18 and over clubs. Definitely not that. And you really don't want to go to clubs around college campuses. Because these women, you know, they still have the high school mentality. They're not grown yet. You don't want to hang around the college campus schools. You want to go to an upscale part of town. You want to go to a club where there's a dress code. That's very important. Also, when you go to the clubs, try to avoid going to the clubs around the 1st and the 15th of the month. Because around the 1st and the 15th, that's when all the hood rats get their county checks and their WIC vouchers and their food stamps. And they can afford babysitters and they can afford to get their hair and their nails done. And that's when they hit the streets like roaches. So you want to avoid the clubs around the 1st and the 15th. But you want to go to clubs in upscale areas. You want to go to clubs that have dress codes. You might want to check out some of the clubs in the white neighborhoods. A lot of upscale sisters go to the white clubs. It depends on what city you're in too. Like in Hollywood or Los Angeles, any club like in Long Beach or Carson or Torrance or down in LA is ghetto. You want to hang around the Beverly Hills clubs, some downtown spots, and definitely the Hollywood spots. Because I know in Hollywood, they don't really let hood rats get into certain spots unless it's like a hip-hop themed night. But a lot of clubs in Hollywood, they don't even let hood rats get in. They really pick and choose the type of women they want in the club. So again, it all depends on what city you are in. You got it? Now, on today's show, I'm going to do a new segment that I'm going to do every week. It's called Mack Rants. I'm going to do this segment every week. That's when I rant about a few things that's going on. And I'm going to do it every week. Now, in today's Mack Rants, I have 3 Mack Rants that I want to get off my chest. Just my opinion, just me shooting the shit, chewing the fat. Mack Rant number 1. Message to video girls. Now, I know video girl, you think that being in the Little Scrappy video is going to be your stepping stone to a major motion picture career. But the fact of the matter, video girls, being a video hoe is one step above porno. So please, video girls, stop taking yourself so goddamn seriously. We got video girls out here that's sashaying around like they're Holly goddamn Berry. Tone it down a little bit, video girls. I see a lot of video girls, they done been in 1 or 2 videos and they're walking around town like they just won the fucking Oscar. Tone it down a taste, video girls. Let's bring it back to perspective. Just like that song by The Game, You Would Get Far, listen to that song. Mack Rant number 2. A message to black barbers. How about shutting the fuck up and just cut my hair? I really don't want to be engaged in all the barbershop, asinine, ignorant-ass conversations that go on in there. Now, I know with the movie Barbershop that came out, in the media, they're going around saying that the barbershop is the black man's social club. Guess what? It's not. It's a place for me to get my hair cut and get the fuck on up out of there. I don't want to be engaged in y'all dumbass conversation for 2 hours. Cut my shit, let me go. I'm tired of going to the barbershop and he's taking forever to cut my hair because he's cutting it and he's stopping to engage in bullshit conversation. Cut my hair for a second, then they start freestyle rapping against each other. Nigga, just cut my hair so I can get the fuck on up out of there. I know you cats are sitting in the barbershop bored all day looking for an audience, and when somebody comes in, you want to keep them in there as long as possible. We have shit to do. Alright? And finally, Mack Rant number 3. A message to all the low-level wannabe drug dealers out there. Player. Nigga, you sell ecstasy pills. You're not Tony Montana. Calm that shit down. Stop acting like a drug kingpin. You sell Vicodin out of your mama house. Alright? There's nobody tapping your phone. Let's bring it down a taste, Nino Brown. Anyway, that's been today's episode of the Mack Lessons Radio Show. I'm glad that everybody tuned in. Don't forget to check out MackLessons.com. Don't forget to check out MySpace.com/Tariq_Nasheed. And don't forget to check out the UnitedPlayersOfAmerica.com website. I'm going to holler at y'all players tomorrow. Peace.